Quick things to point out, you're talking about nerfs coming through. Lissandra, so far globally in 9.2, is the highest presence mid laner. That is the most common champion in that role. I expect to see her picked in this game, or maybe banned away, but seems to be the premier mid. Urgot, of course, still really up there. Aatrox lost a little bit of presence, but is still common as well, so we'll see some of that come through most likely. I do find it interesting, Echo Fox are banning away some of the tank top lanes here. They're actually expecting Solo to do well against Broken Blade.
Yeah, no Cassio ban just yet. We'll see if TSM is going to be forced into that ban. Cassio has been considered, at least in week 1, by most of the pros to be the strongest pick. This is a pick that a lot of people are talking about as a triple flex. It is going to get banned away. We did see the Aatrox go to Broken Blade in his loss, actually, against Clutch, but he did look very strong on it, especially in lane, getting multiple solo kills on Huni. We do know this can also be flexed over to Bjergsen, so a strong early flex pick there. Is going to be answered by another flex pick, from TSM in the Aurelia. We could be seeing the Aurelia going top. We could be seeing that going mid. Likewise with the Lissandra here. I have even seen a little bit of Lissandra Aftershock support, so not expecting that, but definitely flex picks are the name of the game.
Absolutely the case here. Aurelia, sadly, 0-5 in pro play across 9.2 so far, but we'll see what comes out of that one. Certainly Lissandra, not a shocker as well. And that looks like that Ornn is locked in here. No, it's still being hovered, waiting for Phoenix to lock in as well. Either way, though, Ornn's exciting. Jace coming in. So this is very interesting, of course. Normally, all three of those champions are most frequently seen top. That can't be true for all of them anymore. Ornn's support is a pretty big likely one. Gate brought it out a lot last week. Seems to be going most likely to Hakuho down.
That is definitely what I'm expecting. You also can see Aatrox jungle, so it could be, a Jace mid, Ornn top, Aatrox jungle. So there's a lot of flexibility here for Echo Fox, but as it's standing, I'm definitely expecting the Jace to try to be matching up with the Aurelia, the Ornn to be going support, and likely then leaving that Aatrox there against the Lissandra. But we will see exactly how they want to prioritize these matchups, and if they want to try to mix things up and maybe confuse TSM a little bit.
And we've even seen very little bits of, for example, Jace bot lane, and Apollo was one of the players last year who put time on the alternate playstyle bot laner. So this is definitely a very flexible lineup. We'll see what truly comes through here for Echo Fox. But TSM thinking that mid lane is still open as a possibility here with, as you're mentioning, things like Ornn support, Aatrox jungle, Jace top. So afraid of that Syndra coming through as a mid lane counter pick, and that's one of TSM's bans right here.
Yeah, very interesting. I mean, so far this season, we have been seeing a lot of marksmen from Phoenix. He played the Lucian, he played the Corki. Yes, Jace is not a marksman, but he fits somewhat in that, the sort of
I'll
style
call him a marksman,
but
certainly not as much of an auto attacker.
Yeah, exactly. So it is interesting to see him kind of sticking more to those guns. We'll see if it will be him playing the Jace in the mid lane. A second Ezreal game going to be coming in here for Sven, who had his best game of the season in their win, certainly on the Ezreal. Looked very competent. And with a style of team being drafted like this, a lot of physical damage already being drafted by Echo Fox, a lot of dive and kind of attack towards that marksman position, Iceborne Ezreal seems like it makes a lot of sense there for this event.
You know it would go well for Echo Fox with all this physical damage? Magic damage jungler. I'm trying to think of things that Rush knows how to play.
Okay.
Yeah, in pregame chat, Rush told me he was playing 18 games of cards this season. I think he's lying, but he did say it.
He did say it. But I would not believe what he said in front of the other team.
I believe 0 things that Rush ever says. I feel like the guy is joking more often than he's telling the truth. Either way, Tom Kedge coming through to Smoothie, of course. No shocks down there, and there will be a jungle pick to come in last for TSM. They're going to wait to see the rest of the composition before they lock that one down. Echo Fox have to lock in their whole composition as well. They do probably need some magic damage, and I think they need a pick for Apollo. And with Ryze being locked in, I feel like Apollo's definitely playing something non-standard at this point.
Well, not guaranteed. I mean, we could still be seeing Aatrox jungle, Ornn support, Jace, mid, something like that.
Yeah.
And then the Ryze top. But definitely a pretty atypical draft coming here from Echo Fox. So
and Lee Sin!
Lee Sin. So we are going to get the Lee Sin, and we are going to have a non-standard bot lane. Could be the Jace, as you said. That is something that could certainly fit down there. A Ryze bot is something that has a little bit of popularity as well. Can help to set up for Ornn. You can throw down the Rune Prison. The pillar is behind them. You can sometimes get that knock up the chain off of that. Have been seeing a fair bit of Aftershock Ryze as well in solo queue. A lot of people really liking the additional tankiness that is providing. Easy to proc on demand with that W.
Yep.
This is a very non-standard style of draft that Echo Fox has, and with these sorts of teams, you really do have to push the pace. You have to snowball the game. This is not something I think where you're going to want to go late against this Ezreal, who's going to be really hard to lock down with the additional safety there of the Tahm Kench, and also some pretty powerful dive when you're looking at Lissandra, Nocturne, Aurelia, who can fly into the backline and could be really difficult for someone like Jace or Ryze to survive against that.
Yeah, there's not a ton of peel on Echo Fox's side. It's very slow coming out of Ornn. Lee Sin kick is okay, don't get me wrong, but this will be fun to watch for, as that Jace is going to be locked in for Apollo, and that's where these champions are in this matchup. Turns out Twitch chat was right. Lee Sin is the pick of the day for Rush. He did lie to me about playing Karthus. I'm not surprised by that one at all, though, but it's going to be a very, very fun one. Both these teams 1-1. Their only losses coming from the undefeated Clutch Gaming back in week 1. Of course, we'll see more of them later on, but this is going to be a pretty interesting battle. Fans tend to be very excited about TSM. They do look very good. They were in control in their loss to Clutch last week. Expected winner here, but Echo Fox certainly can look great. And with the Godfist Lee Sin for Rush, he can absolutely take over this game.
Definitely can. This is what the fans have been wanting from Rush. This is what they think about when they think of Rush, when they think of his dominant performances back on tip when he won MVP. You know, certainly is this style of play, and he's going to be set up well with powerful solo laners. The Ryze and the Aatrox, both strong lanes to gank for there. We're going to see if he can take over this game and push Echo Fox to the victory.
We'll see if they can do it. We are on to the Rift for the very first game of week 2. These teams tied 1-1. Echo Fox and TSM doing battle. Rush on his trademark Lee Sin. TSM all looking pretty sharp, and Broken Blade on a carry up in that top lane. He was pretty hyped up coming in, known for his high mechanics champions. Gets to play another carry matchup. We'd see him beat Someday and Huni in lane in the very first week. Now up against Solo, someone I think is very good, but has a chance to outplay here in the Aurelia versus Aatrox matchup.
Yeah, I mean, Broken Blade really has been kind of checking all the boxes. A lot of people were concerned about how he would be able to perform, especially with such tough opponents in week 1. You know, going up against Huni and Someday, 2 of the strongest top laners in the league, certainly, and he looked very good, getting solo kills on both of them. The only criticisms I've really been seeing levied towards this guy is that with the lead perhaps he had over Huni, there are better ways he maybe could have played around the map to snowball that game, but certainly has been an extremely impressive player and looking like a really strong acquisition for TSM thus far.
Absolutely the case here. Now we are into this game. Random note I do want to bring up. Apollo was the work-in-progress name of Jace, actually, when he was being developed. So a bit of a name synergy there. It got changed over to Jace, of course, before he ever went public. But I thought that was interesting. So there you go.
Also worth noting that, JJ in both of FlyQuest victories last week did play the Ornn support, so it was 2-0 on that.
Right.
And, we have been seeing it elsewhere in the worlds. Lehens, kind of famously bringing it out in the LCK. A lot of players looking towards Griffin and saying, let's do that.
Let's do that. Griffin's pretty good at League of Legends.
Yeah. I mean, Olaf support, well, not support. Olaf with Redemption is really everywhere coming out of the jungle, so a lot of players are really trying to learn as much as they can from that Griffin squad that is looking so frightening, and definitely one of the teams that has helped to popularize the Olaf support.
So looking at the early laning phase down to the bot lane, can't say I've seen a lot of Jace versus Ezreal down here. It's kind of a fringe pick. You see it every once in a while, but certainly both very pokey, both pretty mana reliant. We're going to see probably tears out of both these characters pretty early on, but currently it is the push lead to Echo Fox, and it gives Rush a bit of control over this side. Sadly, if he'll be walking through a ward, he'll be seen going for Scuttle, but it means the other one can be traded away. Acadian can take the top Scuttle without much issue. Yeah,
definitely expecting Acadian to be able to at least get one of those Scuttles. A lot of early priority on the vision around here. We'll see if Echo Fox is going to try to make a concerted effort to take away this blue buff, and it may end up in vertical style jungling, and as it seems like Rush is going to head up there, knowing that the bot lane did roam out of lane, we may just see Acadian head straight down to Echo Fox's blue buff and just trade that away. So both junglers making intelligent choices, I think, in the early minutes here.
And right now, it's actually Acadian who is slightly faster on the jungle. This is expected when it's Nocturne versus Lee Sin, but he's cleared the Raptor camp that Rush's Lee Sin has not. And they're just simply trading the blue buffs, going into Gromp right now. So it is the small XP and CS edge towards Acadian here.
It's always interesting to me when we get these vertical jungling scenarios, when the jungler kind of calls the bluff and backs off, right? Because some junglers will try to stay and actually greed it out and full clear that side of the map to be up an additional camp, whereas others may only do the buff and then be worried about a collapse, or maybe do 2 camps and then be worried about a collapse. So we'll see. You know, Rush is certainly going for that full clear, and it looks like likewise, Acadian is actually just going to leave the Little Wolf alive and do a full camp clear here also.
Looks like both junglers leaving a small wolf, but again, the difference in the Raptor camp is here right now. But Rush going towards the mid lane. Phoenix can look for the root, but the E over the wall is going to put Bjergsen to safety. This mid lane +7 for the TSM mid laner.
And that's a small thing, but Bjergsen is playing towards the top side of the map where his jungler is. Knowing that Rush would have to be coming from that bottom quadrant makes that a very easy escape for Bjergsen, and that is just intelligent positioning, intelligent kind of map awareness there that is allowing him to make that gank look so non-threatening.
Right, it's like the dumbest, easiest thing to get right, but also you should just always get it right and make sure. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, pretty good damage out here. Props, a couple of brittles. Hako is going to be able to walk away pretty safely here, and Sven at half HP, that's going to be pretty solid. He's gone through one of the health potions, but got a new free one from Kleptomance.
Going to be feeling pretty good about that, but you know, when you're playing Ezreal Tahm Kench, I really don't feel like you're playing this lane to win anyway. You're playing this lane to farm, to stay safe, so that really does lead me to believe that TSM is going to be playing heavily towards the top side of the map, looking to gank those solo lanes with Acadian, and as I talked about, Echo Fox does have strong solo lanes to gank for with the Lee Sin, but it's the same story for TSM. Lissandra can set up those ganks very well, as can an Irelia if you land that stun, and even though Cleanse is available on Phoenix, you might just get burst down through a Nocturne ultimate plus a full Lissandra combo.
Yeah, keep in mind, unless I missed you saying this, it is Phase Rush on the rise here and not that Aftershock you brought up in Champion Select, though it has been increasingly common. So Phoenix definitely is killable if the plays go right on the TSM side. You can cleanse the one Sun, but the next one comes out before the cooldown is back. Back in the second round of jungle clears. Keep in mind, we are on 9.2, where the camps are worth a little bit less XP after the first round of respawns. Across pro play, it has meant 17 seconds later to get to level 6. So a very small difference, but one that does exist. But across worldwide pro play, 17 seconds later to the ultimates for junglers. Now a fight for this early Ocean Drake that spawned just 30 seconds ago, and the collapse coming in, Acadian walking down. Here comes Lissandra as well, then at 1200 HP. Willie going for the smite. The Q in for Lee Sin, grabs it right there, is Rush, and now jumping back to his team. The acceleration gate getting the team out.
And that is huge for Echo Fox. Getting a pre-6-minute Ocean Dragon is massive, especially for a lot of these mana-hungry champions, like the Jace, like the Rise, that is going to be really, really big for them. And it really, oftentimes, is just like a free win for your laning phases there from then on out. So excellent job by Echo Fox utilizing the pressure they had on the bottom side of the map. They have the winning 2v2, they have a strong early jungler, and they have already made good on that with that dragon.
Nice stuff right here. The gold lead is slightly up for TSM, and again, you can see roughly one camp does put Acadian ahead here, and the mid lane is almost a full wave and a half here for Bjergsen. But otherwise, it's pretty close stuff. Thank you very much, observers. We can see the gold differences on a more detailed breakdown, and yeah, 150 right there in the jungle, and another 150 in the mid lane. That's where most of the TSM advantage is right now. Kleptomancy, small additions on top of this one, as Solo might now be subjected to a gank. 1v2 up here. Broken Blade does not land the ultimate. Does find the stun, though with this fear, this could be enough. Solo pops the ult. He will be revived. That ult's going to be down. And can they kill him under turret? Very little health left on him. Flashing away. Nice jump by Acadian. Knocked into the air. Solo, the aggro is on. He's going to get 2 kills by himself.
That was incredible from Solo. Handling that so well. The knock-up, buying enough time for him to kite that out, and Broken Blade taking 1 turret shot too many. Had the flash available, whiffed on the ultimate, did not back out of the tower, and that is 2 early kills going the way of Solo. What an outplay.
I believed a lot in Solo last year. I thought he was one of the best players on Clutch despite the big names, still showing up here today.
And here it is one more time. I don't know if that was in anticipation of a juke, that's what I'm going to assume there, but misses on the ultimate, and then it looked like from here they should have been able to actually grab the kill. But Broken Blade just decides, okay, I'm going to hold the turret. Acadian, you finish off the kill. This knock-up, though, is the saving grace. Broken Blade taking 1 turret shot too many, and then knock-up buying enough time for Solo to get 2 kills there. So
yeah,
that's a costly mess-up there from TSM, and gold still very close to even, but significant advantage for Solo now on the top lane.
Yeah, not only in gold, but also, now Rush has to be able to stay safe. He will be with a safeguard. Not only advantage in kills and 150 gold, but also the advantage in summoner spells, as both those players up there burned their flash. So Acadian is down resources. However, It is a Nocturne at level 6, which means that repeat gank can happen.
You have to keep in mind that there was a pink ward there, so that ward is turned off. They don't know that Rush is in this bush. He has Kick Flash available.
Oh, and here comes Rise as well. 3v1 to the top side, looking for Broken Blade.
Oh, nice. Triple stun!
Stun onto 3, the flash and the kick, but it's not enough damage. They finally get him. Phoenix gets him from downtown. A kill on the top side. Solo is going to be so far ahead.
It ends up working out. It was a bit dicey there for Echo Fox, certainly, but they get the kill, and they get the ultimate out of Acadian, so Acadian gets nothing for his first ult. They get another kill with the wave crashing into Broken Blade, so he's going to be losing that experience, losing that additional gold. Only real positive there for TSM is that Bjergsen should be able to pick up some turret plates. So we'll watch this one more time. You see the Infernal Chains not quite pulling him back, and then Safeguard, triple stun there from the Aurelia. And despite this not going that well, Phoenix is able to thread the Q around Acadian, finish off that kill, and Acadian cannot grab a counter kill. So Bjergsen did get 2 turret plates in the middle, is up significantly in the farm. Yep. So he's really the only benefit factor of that play from TSM, but you can see where the focus is, and it's really on that top side for Echo Fox.
Yeah, because of those plates, though, there's a chance the top lane dive is not worth it in the grand scheme of things. 320 earned back for the plates, 450 earned for the kill. But keep in mind, Phoenix probably lost a full wave of CS and XP and might have been actually the wrong play to go for that kind of gank.
And that remains to be seen, right? You've now invested those resources into Solo, and it's, okay, can you make good on that now? I gave up something to get you ahead, and if he can now get a solo kill, start taking the turret plates on his own, then great, it was worth it.
For example, he's a level ahead. TP down, Broken Blade also missed that wave of farm, and so that is the investment made. That is the thing we will track throughout this game. 800 gold apart in the top lane. That's a big deal. One level also quite relevant.
So far, though, in the bottom lane, things looking pretty calm. We do see Apollo building towards what's very likely a Ghost Blade. It's going to be interesting to see how they try to actually play out this game. I'm expecting Echo Fox to really try to force heavily around objectives, try to force around the Rift Herald, around these dragons, and start to fight very early and very often, because I do think that a lot of their champions are incredibly strong, even on that one item power spike. When you're looking at an Aatrox and a Jace sitting at that sort of level alongside a Lee Sin who's already going to be on Warrior, that should be a really powerful team fight. Right,
you mentioned the early game power. It's no tier for Apollo. Some of that, maybe the Ocean Drake makes him able to skip it, but he is rushing the lethality early on, not going for quite that same scaling build. We have seen some Jaces over otherwise. And as the Infernal spawns kind of right on time, Echo Fox are there, and this is going to be yet another fight, waiting to see when TSM comes in.
And Solo's faster on the roam, so this is going to be a temporary 5v4 if TSM tries to commit.
Good ult tags 2 or 3 there from Sven. 2,400 health on this Drake. Ulti is up for Nocturne. He's going to look for the play, goes towards Rush and Lee Sin, gets a kick, but the smite is gone. TSM have the rights to this one, but in comes Solo. He's going to knock down Acadian. Stopwatch buys a few seconds, but he's still likely to drop, and it's over the wall. Saved out by Smoothie, the new support on the squad, and this will be TSM picking it up, taking the kill on Drake as well.
That was beautifully handled there by TSM. Bjergsen and Acadian tag teaming, going in onto Rush, bursting him down, and then Smoothie there just in time to keep Acadian safe after the stopwatch. So really, despite their disadvantage, despite the fact that Solo was there first, TSM outmaneuvers Echo Fox and will grab the Infernal.
Nice stuff right here. Gold back to Tide and TSM, arguably the stronger Drake, though we'll see what happens here. Bot lane is getting pushed in quite a lot. Here comes the third turret plate with a few more auto attacks, but right now, focused on damaging Sven. Plates will drop in 2 minutes. Next 160 likely to happen over there. Overall gold, Tide.
So here it is one more time. TSM know that Solo is going to get there first, but they zone them out with the claw from Bjergsen and then flash ultimate onto Rush, as well as the ultimate coming in from Nocturne, burst him down. Here's a dive.
Meanwhile, a dive. Phoenix gonna pop the stopwatch. Rush can only take one last shot, and Solo has to flash away from the fear. Nice dive, executed perfectly mechanically, and ulting away. Nice. Rush, gets the shield, he's fine. The reset came in. Good dive in the mid lane! Woo. And away they get from Sven.
Very, very close, but well executed there from Echo Fox. The duo, they have been grinding it out in solo queue, playing a lot of duo there.
Yeah.
That synergy paying off on the dive.
Okay. Well, this is an exciting game right here. An 800 gold lead puts Echo Fox ahead in the early bits of it. One of the first times I've ever seen TSM behind in the early game. Their individual skill incredibly high on this roster. They've been winning lanes a lot right here. But Echo Fox really doing quite nicely. Wait to see what the next little set of plays are. Plates will drop 50 seconds. There's a stun on the bot side. Big chunk of damage. And Smoothie can't even put on the skin. Here comes the TP for sure to follow. Hakuo gonna pop the stopwatch by a few seconds, but watch out. The stun is in. They've knocked down Apollo. Now looking back at Hakuo. Will there be the damage? A knockup. Does rush one in, and it's not gonna be enough. A double kill for Bjergsen's TP to the bot lane.
Such a nice response there from Bjergsen. Really fast reaction to TP down there, despite the fact that Echo Fox finally is able to get an advantage in that 2v2. They get the kill onto Smoothie. Bjergsen is the difference maker there, and really is going to be picking up a lot from that TP. And on the other side of the map, really, Echo Fox has not been able to get too much from all their early investment in solo. You can see that Broken Blade has held fairly even, despite the earlier roam for solo onto the Dragon. Echo Fox lost that fight anyway. You know, the investment there really has not paid too many dividends.
Yeah, 2 plates taken top side, 2 or 3 in the bottom lane. That's a fair bit of gold coming in, but not maybe as much as they would have hoped for with these picks. Youmuu's Ghostblade is now completed on the side of the Jace, and we'll see if more power spikes come in. But waiting for this 2v1 on the top side. It feels pretty good for Smoothie and co, but Apollo gets that alone time and takes this one down. Thank you very much. I love that we have that. 5 plates overall versus only the 2 of Bjergsen, so it is, you know, a fair bit given. More than just the kills itself, but wait for this one as Nocturne wants to dive in for a couple more hits onto this. Nearsighted. It's going to be pretty tough for Rush. Flashing away. Stunned, though. And that will be another kill for TSM. Trade it back, though, as the junglers are both dead. But now the chase in. Solo alone against 3. Reinforcements coming in soon, but they can still chase into this one. Can they get the kill in Aatrox? 400 health, and yes, they will. Bjergsen on his 4th kill of the game.
And he picks up the shutdown gold there, too. Bjergsen is going to be so loaded on the Lissandra. TSM, again, making the better plays around these neutral objectives. They're the ones who are able to grab the Rift Herald. They're the ones winning out on the fight around it. And it's Echo Fox who really were drafting for the strength around the neutral objectives, but they're just being outmaneuvered.
Well, thankfully for Echo Fox, though, the early game maneuvers have worked out, and they've gotten that little bit of a cushion to sit on. But you're right, the TSM mid-game coordination is paying itself off pretty well. Bjergsen, multi-split MVP, lots of trophies. Great team fighting for him.
Yeah, and here this is one more time, back to live. It's another kill going the way of TSM, and you can see Smoothie's ultimate on cooldown, so I am assuming that is the Abyssal Voyage bringing it in combination with Bjergsen's ult to grab that kill. They have the Rift Herald being dropped, so it's not even going to need the charge for the first turret. We'll see if they escort it in for the charge on the second.
Seems likely TSM back in the lead here. A little bit of time built. Echo Fox, if they can kill it, it's pretty good. It'll do max damage regardless of durability.
It's just going to die, though, so pretty poor Rift Herald there, actually, from TSM. Maybe not realizing quite how low that mid lane turret was when Smoothie dropped it, and Bjergsen was able to finish it off, really, without needing that Rift Herald whatsoever. Yeah.
Oh, wow. 25 gold earned by Echo Fox by killing it off. Some health lost to the bottom lane turret. Not going to matter just yet. Rush. All right, just going to clear away a ward. No big problems just yet. 15 CS lead, though, to Acadian. Has held up the overall farm advantage, rushing for Guardian Angel as well. So a good mix of damage, but also diving in without dying right away.
This is another critical fight. Again, Echo Fox prioritizing the neutral objectives. This time, all 5 members for both teams are in the area. We'll see if Echo Fox can find the kind of fight they need. They definitely do not want to give up a double Infernal advantage over to TSM, further giving them that scaling edge in this style of game.
And it matters more for Echo Fox than it does TSM. 7% stats for the second Drake, but 10% for the first. And Rush going to look forward. Broken Blade a bit isolated. Going to find the ward hop. There's the ult going for the big play. The reinforcements are coming. This is a team fight to watch for. Knockup only gets Tom Kench. Kick back into the wall. Watch out for Hako. Just barely stays alive. But the health bar is so low. A flash in for Smoothie, but not quite getting the kills. Echo Fox, however, though, forced to run away. Their health bar is too low. And TSM without kills win the fight.
Yeah, exactly. It's 0 for 0, but TSM are going to be the ones who have priority over on this Dragon. We just see Bjergsen resetting, so they may not have the confidence to start it up just yet.
And the Ocean Drake does let Echo Fox slink around. Just because of that, the regen's there. Health bar is lower, but regenning fast.
Oh, Smoothie also basing, he has the Abyssal Voyage, so that is the plan. They recalled both of them at the same time to Abyssal Voyage Bjergsen back into the fight. They're going to bring him in right now, so TSM has the health bars. Will they be there in time?
The only engage ult is Abyssal Voyage, already been popped, so no easy way in. Picked up by Acadian, good smite. Team fight is on. Sven is low, and the front line is solo. Has the ultimate, not going to drop. Still no kills picked up, and Acadian better on the smite.
Yeah, Acadian didn't even need the smite. He actually got it with an auto attack over Rush, so Rush mistiming the Q smite there. Acadian simply walks in and bops it on the head, takes that Dragon away. That is 2 Infernals, the side of TSM.
All right, that's actually huge then for TSM. 600 gold plus the double Infernal. They're feeling great, and that is a very sad and unfortunate misplay out of Rush to hit the button at the wrong time, but that's how it goes. Goodbye, Acadian.
Yeah, Acadian flashing over. Here's the smite coming down from Rush. Smite goes down to 100 health right as the auto comes out from Acadian at 110. They take that down, and then Bjergsen, who has returned to the fight with full health, with full mana alongside Smoothie. Very intelligent double recall to utilize that Abyssal Voyage to bring back their low health members, you know, and kind of instead of a TP.
And that is sad for Echo Fox, but it's twice in a row they have bet on this Drake fight, bet on the Smite coming through possibly well, and both times it's TSM not only getting the Drake, but in many of these getting the better kills out of it on top of this one. So TSM starting to push ahead in this game. Mid-game looking better. Again, gold close, but double Infernal does mean they're feeling great. Yeah,
double Infernal as well as I would definitely give them the scaling advantage. I think it's going to be pretty tough to actually get onto someone like Sven as he is, you know, getting stronger and stronger, has already fully stacked his first tier, bought up the second, he's working on that, has the Tahm Kench to protect him. Bjergsen on 2 items certainly can threaten a Jace on his own, and I think that this is going to be a tough one for Echo Fox, so they're now going to have to rely on playmaking, and that is when you look at someone like Rush, who's got to find that big pick, who's got to be able to kick someone in and get them the advantage right from the word go.
And we are not seeing that lead from the top lane matter too much in the mid game here. Solo is still up in gold, but back to tied in levels and is not really pushing Broken Blade around. That split push lead not meaning much. Also, keep in mind Nocturne is slicked behind. Acadian is shadowing this Aurelia just to make sure there's nothing too funky happening. Top lane outer turret goes down, split pushing down by Bjergsen. Phoenix will be a little bit late, but we'll catch the minion wave. TSM still finding edge after edge in this mid game.
Yeah, they're looking very, very good. And as you say, kind of checking all the boxes. Acadian just going to shadow Broken Blade as he pushes this in. Solo knows he has to be somewhat careful. They don't know where the Nocturne is, and Lee Sin is not on his side of the map. So he's going to have to play this quite defensive or risk getting taken down.
That's going to be the Nocturne slinking into the brush. So Solo fights for the wave at equilibrium. Stuff's going to be in range. No flash for Acadian, but if he's in melee range, you can't flash out of the E2 easily. And let's see what comes through, and he's behind him. This could be bad for Solo. Pops the ult, flashing, does get the move speed this time around. He's getting out of range, but stunned up under the turret. Gonna be quite low. Brooklyn getting a big chunk of damage down. Pulled back in, big damage. Oh, he did it again! Solo on the 1v2, finds himself a kill, and here comes the reinforcements. Acadian dodges the stun, but he's been slowed down. Jace can't find the damage just yet. Nocturne for the re-engage, looks for the kill, almost has it, but not quite there. Here comes the rest of the team, but Bjergsen's there as well. Big damage coming across, saved by Smoothie. The fight continues 4-on-4. Acadian's low. Bjergsen in the back line, heals back up, but Acadian's gone. Lissandra is going to follow soon. Stopwatch buys a few seconds, but Smoothie is down, and Bjergsen will follow. It's 4-0 for Echo Fox.
An enormous fight there for Echo Fox, and Broken Blade wants it too badly. They got the flash. They got the ultimate out for free. You could just back off at that point. They had not expended anything whatsoever. Instead, they commit to chasing him, and Solo turns it around, making him look foolish. Echo Fox comes in, and they've got another lease on life in this game.
That was pretty crazy that TSM chose to go in after Broken Blade was already dead. They thought they could win the 4v4, such as it was afterwards. That did not happen. Watch this fight again.
And here it is. You know, at this point, this is a great move from TSM. You got the flash ult. You don't need to continue chasing forward. You can see Acadian actually wasn't expecting that. He was going back to the wave to farm. But the Infernal chains, 2 turret shots onto Broken Blade. He gets full comboed, and Solo with just a really nice heads-up play. The rest of Echo Fox is much faster on the roam here. And then Acadian is caught. He has no way out, so he tries to turn around to get a kill here, but the safeguard from Rush, enough to barely keep Solo alive. The rest of the Echo Fox team arrives, and this is essentially a 4v3 because Acadian has already been chunked out, has already lost his GA. And Bjergsen just barely not able to take out Apollo in the background means they get the shutdown, they get 4 for 0, and they got the GA off of Nocturne.
Well, Hako getting the shutdown gold specifically onto Bjergsen. Orin certainly can use gold to some degree. Keep in mind that you need to complete the items to get the free upgrades at level 13, but gonna be interesting to watch for here as it's back to Echo Fox with the gold lead, and the Cloud Drake is live. And it's Echo Fox once again trying to fight over this bottom river right here, getting rid of some of the wards, getting some poke down. Apollo doing pretty well with 30% CDR in the item build. Hakuo getting poked out by the Ezreal, the pull back. Here comes the dive to the front side, and Solo's not able to ult. A knockup's gonna miss as well. Nocturne somewhat soft countering the Orin. That's 2 in a row now he's missed during Paranoia.
Yeah, very well done there again by TSM. They just locked down Solo. They burst him out before he can get that ultimate off, and it's TSM winning these organized team fights around neutral objectives time and time again. So, you know, they are punished a little bit for that over-aggression on the bottom side of the map, but they regain that composure, they slow it down, and they win themselves another neutral fight and another dragon.
Well, look at this. TSM still down in gold this time around with only the single kill picked up, but they are getting the neutral objectives. They are still up 2-1 in turrets. Top likely to fall. Phoenix will stay and land some auto attacks here. Seraph's Embrace finally combined, going for a somewhat squishier build. As we mentioned before, it's Phase Rush and not Aftershock, but also Sork Shoes as well, so it's very much about the burst damage.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how Echo Fox even wants to play it out from this point, as Rush is laying in wait for Bjergsen.
Ward hop Q kicks him back in, a self-ult, but Bjergsen, he has flash, but is there a way out? Redemption gets the health back up, E's back over! What a play for Bjergsen, and now Acadian's around, has the spell shields, will still get rooted, and that's another flash down. Echo Fox getting the better of that fight.
Oh, that was slick from Bjergsen to escape, though, using the flash to get extra distance from the Claw so they could not interrupt him on that channel. Does escape, but it is 2 flashes down there for TSM, as you say. So a positive play there from Echo Fox, and Echo Fox does have the double TP. They can split with Aatrox and Jace. They have some decent wave clear there with the Ryze. Before now, it has been Ryze in the side lane alongside that Aatrox, and they're kind of just parking their bot lane here in the middle. But quietly, Sven is powering up on this Ezreal. You know, he's now on his 3 items. He's working to that Seraph's completion. Going to be getting harder and harder and harder to kill in these team fights, and his damage is going to be a problem. We saw how he looked in the late game team fights in their first game of the season, and this is starting to feel somewhat reminiscent of that game to me, where Sven is being put in a position to certainly succeed.
And I think he's going to. I actually want to see him go for Sork Shoes, maybe even a Gunblade, do the more caster-focused build. Keep in mind, new Ezreal, the ultimate, does not have fall-off against champions. And everyone's stacking armor anyway. You're seeing Azonias come through for Phoenix, Ninja Tabby on several members here. 3 of them actually, so he is well poised to land those long-range ults and help assassinate that backline.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a squishy team. If you complete something like that Gunblade, the amount of burst you can put out with a WQE in, hit the Gunblade, that is tremendous on any of these members.
All right, things to watch for. TSM feeling pretty good about this game despite the gold deficit. I still feel like they are ahead, but I just don't want to sell Echo Fox short. They are scaling up as well. I want to keep this one a bit close.
And they have the playmaking, right? That is always going to be the X factor. I do think that if you have a standard 5v5 kind of front-to-back style fight, TSM should win that. But that is not always going to be the case. Mistakes can be made. Mistakes can be capitalized. And you have hard engage here with the Orin. You have great pick potential too.
Oh, and there's Nocturne into the front line. They're going to find Lee Sin. That's Guardian Angel down. How about the refight? Here comes the Orin. They're going for the fight right now. Going for the knockup only onto the single content. Bjergsen builds space the front line. Here comes Broken Blade. Giant stuns, a lot of damage, but cannot find the kill. He's picked off by Ryze. It's Echo Fox finding the 1 for 0. Solo's on the chase, has to watch out. The result is timing out. It's just the 1 for 0, but a fight that TSM picks goes the way of Echo Fox.
It's very close when they did get the GA off Rush there, which is critical, but it is the 1 for 0 for Echo Fox by the slimmest margins as Solo escapes out, Hakuo escapes out, and TSM isn't able to finish anyone off.
Okay, still a very close one then. Simply 2,000 gold separates the teams. Echo Fox has the gold, TSM double Inferno. Once again, that fight, they're on the rush to get the GA right away.
Yep, they proc that GA right away, but the Orin Horn here buying some time, buying a little space. It's a well-timed safeguard there from Rush to get out. Then Bjergsen moving in, Broken Blade hits a 4-man ulti and is looking like he could be very successful on that dive, but gets locked up by Ryze, gets burst down. And then TSM does have to kind of back off because they were getting poked out. They were getting attacked by Apollo, by Phoenix from the side. And Echo Fox is doing a good job to survive that, but GA is so big in these fights, and you have to now track that Acadian has his back from that bot lane fight, and Rush will be without it for the next encounter.
That is a squishy Lee Sin, a Ruby Crystal and a Chain Vest for durability. Now here comes the fight to the front line. They kick back to Lissandra, but already Rush is down with that GA pop, and there is the one. Dropped off the Nocturne. Here comes the Horn yet again. Hakuo just going to let it go. Does not want this fight. 1 for 0, a kill for Guardian Angel, the same as last time.
Yep, they are going to be able to get that. So again, these GAs making such a big difference, and tracking the cooldowns becomes incredibly important for these two teams and knowing when it is going to be up. But Acadian critically didn't commit his ult to that fight, so he is going to have the Nocturne ultimate for the next fight, and that should still give them some side lane priority because the Nocturne can trail these split pushers so well.
Okay, well, mid lane under fire. Phoenix and the rest of the crew going to get some decent damage here. Mid lane outer should fall. One more auto attack, and indeed it does. Good chunks out there from Sven. 1,000 health left on Apollo. And Sven with that Iceborne Gauntlet, actually reasonably durable against that kind of stuff. And Sven is actually going for more auto attack focused build. He is going Blade of the Ruin King, so he can transition into hitting frontline with autos. I still would like Caster. That's true, you're right, actually. That wouldn't change anything. That's still part of the recipe. But I know he went Rage Blade, or sorry, Ruin King last time we saw the Ezreal from Sven back in week 1. So it's just kind of the expectation I have for him. Either way, we will see.
Yep, the second transform has come through. So with that Seraph Shield, so hard to already get hold of this Ezreal, and even tougher to take down. They are onto the Baron, but this ward has not been swept out, so Echo Fox is aware of it. This is a critical fight here. We'll see if Echo Fox can get over here and make something happen. Bjergsen has TP available, and there's flank wards.
And here comes the horn once again. No knockup again. Turned off by the Nocturne ulti. The big chunk in the backline. Acadian is low, but they might get that kill first. Bjergsen buying a few seconds. Redemption gets the health back up, but the first shutdown comes in. Ryze is gone, and Solo under targeted, forced to revive as well. Broken Blade buys a lot of time, but finally goes down. 4v4. Echo Fox are running, and Rush will drop as well. 4v3. TSM are on the chase. Sven could go in. He doesn't quite find Solo. Either way, TSM goes up 1.
Yeah, TSM are positive 1 in that kill, and it's going to be right back to Baron. They didn't even have the intention of finishing that. They had the TP ward set up for Bjergsen. He was waiting in base. They're able to spring the trap, and it's rushed down, so no smite available. They now find that ward, and they should be able to start the Baron up now. The ultimate from Bjergsen is such a short cooldown that it's almost available, and he still has his flash, so they could look to turn, but are going to take it a little bit more safe. They feel like they have the scaling advantage. They feel like they don't need to take any risk, and we'll just reset.
Okay. Let's just fight one more time.
Yeah, here it is one more time. They're waiting until Echo Fox fully commits, until they move in. There is the TP coming in from Bjergsen, so using that Ornhorn to try to buy some space. Bjergsen straight on into the backline alongside Acadian. You can see Solo trying to flank around. He does have pretty good positioning on the side, but really is not able to get a tremendous amount of damage out. And then Sven, so much safety from that backline, poking out, getting the damage, and this Q barely missing.
Well, a fight for the Ocean. Draco, the Echo Fox's second, but they are forced right back out of the pit. Acadian picks that one up, but they are ready to keep going. Call the Forge God, looks for the knockup, finds a couple here. The kick back, they've got Bjergsen. 5 versus 4, Rush not long for the world. He is going to drop, but Smoothie is now the target opportunity, and they will get that second kill. A double for the Ryze. Echo Fox feeling good in this 4v3.
Yeah, definitely very nicely done there, but can they actually force? They're going to try to continue to chase here with the Realm Warp.
Realm Warp puts Phoenix to the front line. Watch out, though, has to pop the Zonias. Now the reinforcements coming across, and they find that snipe for Sven. Here comes Broken Blade. They're going to get a couple of kills. Only 1 turned around. It's 3 quick pickups for TSM. Yeah. Solo left alone.
Not on the same page there at all as Phoenix continued that Realm Warp. The other two backed out. Phoenix gets mopped up, and Sven getting so strong now on the Ezreal still has not been taken down. 4-0 and 6 has the Sork boots, is going for that, at least some of that kind of AP style route. This is the 4th straight Dragon picked up for them. They do turn around, nice engage onto Bjergsen. You can see the Ornn ult into the kick. They burst him down before he can self-ult there, and that was a critical kill for Echo Fox, which gave them the confidence to continue forward. But this is still a very strong couple of members here for TSM. And as Echo Fox turns around, the Realm Warp is kind of bailed out on, it looks like. What?
I don't know how
that
looked
bugged to me.
That looked weird.
That looked very questionable. I don't know about that one. That looked like the Ornn was still in the Realm Warp, so I'm not so sure about that one. I'm gonna take back the kind of not on the same page there, because it looked like Ornn did intend to get inside.
So there was some though, because Solo was also like walking to mid lane, and the Jace was nowhere close to it. So either way, it was still a bit split, but I agree Ornn maybe should have been there. We'll look back later on. Regardless, Baron is on, and it's another team fight. Rush.
Oh my God, that chunk.
Dropped low, has GA, and that's been popped. So here comes TSM, ready to go for the play. He does not have a way out, and Bjergsen finds another kill. So without Smite, how do you stop TSM now? There's Spellbook on Akuho. Maybe a chance. Solo dives in. Here comes the play. Can this be the savior for Echo Fox? Solo forced to revive. Broken Blade in the back line. Dives in, will be knocked down by Apollo. 4 versus 4 for the health bars. Getting low at Echo Fox, a double kill for the Jace. Feeling okay, but Solo's going to drop. 3v3 now on the map. Realm Warp is going to bring Phoenix just barely to safety. They have stopped the Baron play, but here comes Smoothie, cutting them off. Can they find the assassination? The health bars are regenerating from Ocean Drake. Looking for the Battle Hako, can't find the stun. Certain to die out as Sven, and Phoenix gonna probably drop as well. Acadian finds that kill on the top side.
They just can't get to Sven. He lit up Rush. His one combo procs the GA. They knock him down again. He is so protected in this fight. Did not have to use even the Seraphs. He now has the Gunblade. This guy is so incredibly fed, they can't get to him. And now it is up to Apollo to try to buy time, but he's going to go down here, it looks like, as well.
Yeah, he tried, but it's not going to be nearly enough. TSM complete the delayed ace. They will
Rush
get
is
this
coming.
Baron most likely. Rush is around. Health bars are low, but they're going to go right for the dive. And over the wall, the kick buys a few seconds. The stopwatch, but Acadian has Guardian Angel. He cannot really lose this fight and gets the ace one more time. Now back into the Baron. No way to lose it here. Picked up by TSM.
Yeah, very patient, very controlled play here by TSM. They're willing to take it slow, continually reset around the Baron, gain the vision, then look for the engage. They know as long as Sven is safe and playing the team fights well, they should have the advantage, and that is certainly how it is looking.
They're looking really good right now, as all Echo Fox can do is wave clear for a bit. But really, Baron on for 3 minutes. Elder Dragon spawning during that timer. With TSM already having 4 stacks, they have all the tools they need to completely close out this game without the chance of comeback for Echo Fox. Rush, no GA, no Flash. He's not going to have playing for the next fight. Now battling for the red buff. That should go pretty cleanly over to Ezreal, and it does. Smoothies around in case there's danger.
Yeah, I mean, with the Baron buff, double Infernal, Sven is sitting over 430 AD and over 450 AP on this Ezreal, so he is ridiculously strong at this point in the game, has a Tahm Kench to protect him, has a Knight's Vow on him. There's so little way for Echo Fox to get on him. It really does need to be a miracle engage you have to feel for them to get a pick, for them to burst someone out before they can use their cooldowns, if they're to have a chance. And that's when you're looking at Rush. That's when you're looking at him to step up and find this miracle engage.
Finding that shutdown on Sven would be almost required for Echo Fox to win this one, but TSM playing safely. One player split to the mid lane, knocking down the tier 2 while the bot lane sieged by 4. Moving around back and forth as needed. Elder Dragon spawning in 15. And the question is, when during this Baron buff do they make that play? Do they knock down another turret first or they get inhibitors? Or will they let it all lapse and play only for Barons? Tier 2's gone in 2 of the 3 waves. They're not playing for top just yet, staying a bit closer together to make sure those power plays don't happen. Rush waiting for his flank move. They know Nocturne is mid. Lissandra going to TP back into the bot lane, and Apollo is too low to fight. Down goes the chunk. The bottom inhibitor is left open. This should be given away. The Rush in solo clears some minions, but the inhibitor is gone. Elder Dragon alive, 1 minute, 25 seconds left on Baron.
Yeah, Elder Dragon up with 4 dragons on TSM. They still have the Baron available. They can simply retreat over to that Elder Dragon if they want. We'll see if they make the choice to try to pressure the mid lane turret and try to knock down that inhibitor before they go over, but I think the Elder Dragon is the smarter and safer play, and that's where they're going to head. This is a 4-stack Elder that is going to be so incredibly powerful. Give them all that additional stats for the Infernal and giving them more and more on the burn. Their poke is just immense from the Ezreal.
And Echo Fox aren't even trying. You see Rush run up to kill a Gromp, says maybe 100 gold will help us win this game because we certainly can't stop the Elder Dragon here. So now, double global buffs are on. By the time TSM resets, Baron's probably going to be gone, but they will have this Elder Dragon alive. Sadly, the timer will not quite line up to have Elder during the Baron itself respawning. That's going to be a bit disjointed. Doesn't really matter. TSM, of course, so far ahead, they don't quite need those little extra edges.
Yeah, definitely don't. Ezreal on full 6 items with the pot available as well. You know, the 4th item now, well, 5th if you want to count the boots there, just completed for Apollo. So a full item behind. Plus, he does not have a 4-stack Elder, which is ridiculously powerful. They can simply march it down with super minions coming in the bottom lane. They're just going to go straight up top, and like, look at that chunk. That is through Safeguard. He loses about half his health there from just the one ultimate.
And the turret's going to fall as well. Essentially triple Infernal with this Elder buff on. So many stats in these players for TSM. Yeah. Pushing in the mid lane, pushing in top as well. We know the bot inhib is already gone. That wave is crashing to the Nexus in about 30 seconds. Pushing forward is Sven, but does not feel danger at all. He's got Smoothie right behind him.
Yeah, he gets Smoothie. He picked up a GA. He has the Seraphs. He has his Flash. Like, he has everything in the world to survive here. Really no excuse for him to go down from this position with all the protection he has. And TSM feeling all the confidence in the world here to push in and close out this game.
And this is when they try to make the play. The knockup only gets Tom Kench, still trying to burst down. Smithy gets the thick skin. Solo in the front line. 1 kill picked up, but will it be traded back soon? Not just yet. The dive! Pearson's gonna find a Guardian Angel. Now here comes Nocturne as well. They've knocked out Apollo. This could be the fight that will put TSM at 2-1. They've got all the kills. It's gonna be over. Hakuho just running away, but he can't keep this one alive. TSM will knock down Echo Fox in 38 minutes and a 2-1 record for the new lineup.
9-0-10 here for Sven on the Ezreal. A standout performance from Bjergsen as well on the Lissandra. TSM looking on form today as they're able to take down a very creative draft here from Echo Fox that never quite panned out. You saw the ideas from Echo Fox, you saw the thought process there, but small things really not going their way, and TSM's excellent play, you have to say, around the neutral objectives. They were ready for Echo Fox's game plan. They were ready to meet them at all those dragons, take those fights, and they simply executed better at those neutral objectives and denied Echo Fox the chance to snowball the game.
TSM, great team fighting the whole way through. One of the absolute standouts, as you mentioned, is Sven. Outside of the single mistake he made against Clutch Gaming, I think it's been almost a perfect season for him so far. It's another immaculate Ezreal game down from him. Bjergsen seems pretty close to back on form as well. His roams were good, his TPs were great. Certainly some good team fight pressure. And Acadian also stepping in. Picked up as the Academy jungler, suddenly comes in to replace Grig, who is sort of out for medical issues. And Acadian's been really solid. His stats are up there. They're 2-1 here with him. He's been an absolutely great stand-in.
Yeah, I mean, the whole team really did perform. The only blemishes I would say for TSM were the dive top lane, the overextension bot lane, both of those giving up 2 kills over to Solo.
Yeah.
But besides that, really the team was looking very on point. The game plan was very clear. They were very well coordinated, always in the right spot at the right time. And they knew their win conditions. They know they didn't have to overextend or do anything too crazy to try to push the pace, rush a Baron, because they felt that they would always have the late game. And we saw Ezreal was just untouchable once you got to that late game stage.
Yep, Sven looked amazing. TSM 2-1, well played to them. And now for more on that win, let's send it over to Avali and the victorious top laner.
Thanks, Freak. Broken Blade, a little bit of a rough start to that game, but you kept at it. Close game, and TSM pulled off the win. What'd you think of your performance today?
Honestly, I think I played it really bad, but I think it can happen sometimes on stage, but my team got my back, and I know that if they play bad, then I can carry them, and if I play bad, then they can carry me, and I have trust in them, they have trust in me, and yeah.
And in TSM Legends, we heard Bjergsen call you the heart of the team. We saw you leading all the team huddles right before the game. How are you fitting in with TSM so far?
Honestly, I'm just myself, and they seem to like it, and I like them too, and it just feels good to be in TSM. It's a really nice atmosphere, and just feels great to be here. Yeah.
And with playing on TSM, there comes a lot of pressure from the community and the fans. Have you felt that yet, and how are you dealing with it?
Obviously, I have huge respect on the TSM fans because there's so much of pressure that can get to my head, but I think I've been doing pretty well up to date, but up till now. But I think I can handle the pressure of the TSM fans, and yeah.
And TSM is a great opportunity to kind of show your stuff as a player and prove yourself. What do you want fans to think of you by the end of Spring Split?
I didn't come to NA to just participate. I came here to win the whole thing, and that's what I'm going to do.
Came here to win. Broken Blade, congratulations again on the win, and thank you. And for more on the game, let's hear from the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, Avali. He's not here for that participation trophy. He wants to win the whole thing. And a win over Echo Fox is a good way to kick off week 2 here in the LCS. We're going to dive into the game in just a moment, but some really interesting stuff happened here in Champions Select. Of course, we did get the Lee Sin that we were asking for Rush, but weirdly, that pick was overshadowed by a lot of other things that Echo Fox did in the draft here.
Yeah, and it was a weird one for me because they kind of did this flex pick Jace thing, but they did it after you see TSM 1-2 their solo laners in Aurelia and Lissandra. And so usually when you do a flex pick like this, it's because you're trying to hide and bait something out of the mid pick, but you already know that those are their 2 solo laners. Technically, they can go into either lane, but like there's nothing else coming. So Jace is not super high priority in the patch. It's not like it's going to get banned out, and then you can't take it later if you really want that bot lane.
Right.
And they don't even have like a good comp for Jace either. Like he's like a poke champion, and what did they really have for that? They had an Aatrox, they had a Ryze, and a Lee Sin. Like, how does Jace fit into this comp outside of the fact that he wasn't even used for a flex? Like, he just didn't make sense.
Yeah, it was an early game pick. Like Jace is obviously a pretty dominant laner, and so you have a lot of early game strong champions in the Lee Sin, so you could feel like they wanted to run over this game, but it was just a weird way of getting there where like they were trying to do really tricky stuff, but the enemy had already shown their hand. Like you didn't actually flex anything with the deception, I guess.
Right, yeah, maybe doing a bit too much in Champion Select in a sense. But as you mentioned, I think one of the keys you mentioned was kind of the early index by Echo Fox in terms of their champion picks. So we're gonna roll through some early game plays, and there's some good ones and some bad ones here for the side of Echo Fox.
Yeah, you see the early Ocean Drake off that bot lane pressure that we were talking about, nice timing, and then rush on the Lee Sin. This is what everyone wanted to see. There it is.
The flash kick.
The flash kick.
Hey, it's forced, but he's in lanes and he's affecting the game from an early point.
And this is where things kind of went off the hinges for me. Rush W'd himself in the pit as opposed to W'ing to get on with the rest of his team, and once TSM saw that, they just all in and blew Rush up. And this was a potentially great flank with Solo coming in the backside, and that was kind of what started to unravel as the game went on. Was you could just see Echo Fox were not quite as coordinated as they needed to be to play off such an early game focused team.
Right.
That mid lane play is not a play that Karthus is making either. So
no,
again,
no.
That's definitely a Lee Sin play.
Yeah.
And like, I don't actually like Fox taking these early game team fights because like you look at the enemy team of TSM, right? They have very strong team fighting champions, but on Echo Fox's side, you have Lee Sin, Ryze, Aatrox. You kind of want to take like 2v2 fights. So I feel like teams are being baited by Dragon because of the change to it. And it's just like, do you really want to sacrifice a team fight where you lose 3x members for a Fire Dragon? Like, I'm not sure, but I'm consistently seeing it throughout the games that people that have weak early game team comps are just taking fights for that Fire Dragon. Apparently, he's too juicy.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely is more incentive to go for that first Drake of each element. But it's an interesting thought here, right? Because if we talk about that Infernal Drake fight, Mark, as you mentioned, Lee Sin Wing over the wall to his team, buys them maybe the extra 2 seconds they need for Solo to fully get in position for that flank off of the Ornult. Hey, that fight now goes in their favor. Not only do they get the Drake and a couple kills, now the game's off on a totally different trajectory than what it was.
Yeah, and I think I can understand that was their game plan. They took some turret plating pretty early when they saw the stats. I think they had 800 gold from turret plating to TSM's like 300. So, you know, you could see the pieces in place, but they just didn't actually ever convert in good team fight situations to highest point. They had a lot of nice skirmishes and ganks and these kind of dive stuff, but the whole 5 players were not working that well together.
You just have to think of the risk versus the reward. Like, the chances of them winning that team fight and getting a Fire Dragon has got to be extremely low, and the chance for a play like this working is also extremely low. Like, well, after they get the flash and stuff like that, Broken Blade should just commit to the fight, go all the way through and flash out, but he's trying to save his flash, and this is like greedy.
Yeah.
Like, if he just went in and just killed the guy and then flashed out, that wouldn't have happened. And the fact that they took 2v1s here and they both didn't pan out, I gotta say Broken Blade's a bit tilted from earlier. Because you see this, like, in my mind, I'm thinking, how do you kill this Aatrox ever? Like, after he flashes out, just nothing's gonna happen. So after he died earlier in the 1v2 and then he dies here again, TSM's just like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore, and they changed their entire game plan after that.
You can see some of the split decision there. Acadian using his Q back towards the minions as opposed to continuing to push forward in the fight, so maybe some miscommunication there. But Solo really was doing a lot of work individually, even while TSM, yes, misplayed a bit in those 2v1s to keep his team in the game. But basically what I'm getting from you guys here is that Echo Fox in a lot of ways had the right idea around their comp, its strengths, weaknesses, the power curves of their champions and how they would win, but that as a full 5-man, their execution and communication coordination was way off, which allowed TSM to get to the point where ultimately their team comp was stronger.
Right, and I think even TSM wasn't being super well coordinated. And whenever you have this kind of messy team fight where both front lines are hopping on each other and dying, if you have an untouched Ezreal on the backside and the other team has a Jace, like, guess who's winning that team fight? The Ezreal, and Sven ends up like 10-0-8 or something insane.
That's like the second game he's popped off on Ezreal too, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like insane stat score, doing so much damage every fight too.
Yeah.
It's just, if he gets to sit in the back and just pop shots, like, he's having a good time. At least comparatively to a Jace that's getting dove on by a Nocturne and an Aurelia. He's not having fun.
Another big game for Sven and TSM as they pick up a victory here, moving to 2-1. We're taking a break. When we return, it's Cloud9 versus Golden Guardians. Don't go